In this video, I'm going to cover Synthesis DeFi portfolio, and I'm going to cover the roadmap, what is expected to be shared with you guys and worked on in the next quarters, plus a little bit of the routine that this company is involved with. Some of you may know we are in post-chain, right? But we are expanding operations to other chains officially, despite the fact that I already interact and work with the other chains for quite some time, by the way. So the main idea here is to eliminate the friction of users to DeFi yield, right? Because you need some DeFi knowledge, you need some time in DeFi space, not just crypto, not just buying crypto, but trying protocols, verifying different types of sources of yield, different blockchains. There are some protocols that people barely know that provide a good yield, but there's a lot of friction, right? Nobody has time to. I mean, most of the people doesn't have time to go there and search and research about DeFi protocols. So we are here to eliminate this friction. What I'm going to share with you guys here is the roadmap and how Synthesis currently operates, right? So we have achieved a total volume of 400,000 K basically, and that's great, right? With this exposure that we had in August, we were able to achieve 417 holders. Plus, we have a 90% APR in our pools, which is it results in a gigantic volume by TVL. If you go to Uniswap at this moment and you look at this KPY here, volume TVL, you'll notice that they are really, really low. In our case, we are, basically close to 52 volume to TVL. And I've been tracking this on my dashboards here. So let me explain to you how Synthesis DeFi works really quickly here. We are involved in all of these operations in DeFi. So lending, arbitrage, backstop liquidity pools, and this one is not DeFi, but it's real world assets, specifically talking about energy stocks because, well, we're talking about crypto overall, right? And crypto is heavily dependent on energy. AI is heavily dependent on energy. So I really believe it makes a lot of sense to have exposure to the source of this energy that flows into all we know as blockchain, right? So the roadmap here in Synthesis DeFi is separated in 4 steps. Till 2026 that I put here. And despite being quite, like small topics when you read here, there's a lot of things to do. It's like an iceberg. So what we have here is the neuron phase. The neuron phase is this phase that thankfully we achieved a lot of traction in the last month. So this gives us some data to officially go towards seed investing. And this step is called neuron because it's the beginning of the neurological process, basically, right? So, well, it has to start with a neuron. So we get this information to go after seed investing. I am about to share with you guys the yield and the position dashboard that tracks basically what is the yield being received in the liquidity pools. And I'm going to integrate later on lending protocols, the backstop liquidity part, and the arbitrage. But it's a vast source of data, so it takes some time, right? And it includes the cross-chain data. So what is the liquidity pools in Ethereum doing and in Solana doing, right? And then we move towards the synapse phase. So the synapse phase is going to happen something that I'm already doing manually, which is it's the automation of the cross-chain arbitrage. So the idea of Synthesis is to go chainless, so to speak. Not chainless, but not necessarily focused solely on post-chain in order to expand its operations and bring this liquidity into post-chain. This is the main idea. So in order to achieve this, we must keep prices stable while increasing the reach to other communities. So we must have an automated cross-chain arbitrage. For now, it's not happening automated because most of the time the spread is big and someone can just hit a few dollars and you already arbitrage it. So I'm letting there for the community if they want to be active on this, right? But later on, according to the maturity of the company and the TVL, we're going to put this automated. And then the automation of the portfolio between side and real world assets, right? Because right now I have to do it manually. Well, basically it's just extract numbers and execution, but I believe it can be automated and I know how to automate. By the way, all the things here that I'm sharing with you guys I already have the know-how. I just have to do it. You know, I have the process. I know how to build a database, how to maintain, move information left and right. What stacks should I use? What code? The ISO standards to execute from the data perspective and all the stuff. And then we move to synesthesia, right? In second quarter, which should be the beginning of side staking and Synthesis DeFi vaults. What do I mean with Synthesis DeFi vaults? People will be able to participate in a vault where they can copy some of the operations of Synthesis DeFi, but on the other hand, they pay a management fee of 10% over the profits. This technology already exists. It's just about an implementation and ensure that the executions in the vault are being doing automated. But the technology already exists, right? And after this, there's a lot of work here. And then we were talking about the synthesis phase, and I decided to put the synthesis phase here because, well, we achieved a good exposure this month, so I can tell that from this month forward, it's a new phase, and it should culminate in the phase synthesis, which allows the copy trading. We implement side in order books. So currently side is just being traded in the automated market makers, but in the future we are looking to implement this with order books, and this may include centralized exchanges or decentralized exchanges that have order book, right? And of course research and development. By the way, I'm always doing that. So just for further steps, right? So this is the roadmap that I'm looking at this moment. And on top of this, every single month, the powerhouse is working. And the powerhouse is what feeds synthesis, right? So the idea of going to seed investing is actually to work on the powerhouse, on this area of the powerhouse, instead of just going there and buying side with the investing. It's not the case, right? So that's it, guys. This is the roadmap, and I'm going to make another video explaining what is the activities about. What are the activities about? See you.